Hi there, this is Lula LV. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and spending some of your time with me today. As always, I hope you're having a good one. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a few tips with you about how you can either start your collection or build upon your Louis Vuitton collection if you are looking to maximize your money and make your dollar go a little bit further at the boutique. And even though I'm talking specifically about Louis Vuitton, I do have my Chanel jumbo flap here because a lot of these concepts can be applied to shopping with other designers. And I will use Chanel as an example. And of course, these are just my suggestions and they should not be taken as hard and fast rules. The only rules, in my opinion, for luxury shopping are number one, never go into debt. If you cannot afford to pay for something, don't buy it. And number two, these are luxuries, they're not necessities, so do what makes you happy. Buy what makes you happy and brings you joy. But beyond that, everything is merely a suggestion. These are a few things that worked for me, and hopefully they may work for you as well. Tip number one, if you have a holy grail item, buy it first or early on. If there's one item, for some people, it's something like a Chanel classic flap that if there's one item you've always dreamed of, don't feel the need that you have to work up to that item. If you can afford it and if it's available to you, go for that item first. You don't know when you're just starting out if you will buy more than one bag or how long it will take you from buying your first bag to your second bag. When I purchased my Chanel jumbo, this was the second luxury bag I purchased. It was my holy grail item. I had the ability to purchase it. I purchased it pre-loved. I didn't go through the boutique. With taxes included, it came to around $5,000. It was by far the most I've ever spent on a bag. And I thought about maybe getting a seasonal bag that had a similar look, but I'm glad I didn't because I would have still wanted a classic flap after that. So I would have been out the $3,000 to $4,000 I spent on that bag. And then eventually I would have wanted a classic flap, and Chanel's had major price increases the last couple years. So I would have paid much more for it. Even though I didn't go through the boutique, when the boutique raises their prices, that eventually filters down to the secondary market. If you don't have a specific dream bag or dream item that you know that you want, but say, for example, you love their monogram canvas and you just want a Louis Vuitton bag, but you're not sure what to get, go into your closet and look at your favorite and most used bag. And I'm talking about your favorite and most used in terms of functionality. What is the easiest, best bag that you enjoy using the most? Is it a tote? Is it a camera style bag? Is it crossbody? Is it handheld? What works best for you, not in terms of how the bag looks, but of how it functions and fits and works in your lifestyle? And then look for that style of bag. So for example, when I purchased my Neverfull, my daughter was getting a little bit older, my first child, and she was outgrowing the need for me to carry around a diaper bag. And I just wanted something nicer that we could carry all of our things in. I didn't need everything that she needed as an infant. And that was the need I was looking to fill. I went with this Neverfull and it was perfect. So take a look at your lifestyle and your closet, see what you're using and what works best for you. If you don't have a specific dream bag or holy grail bag, try to think about what would be most functional for you and what you would use the most. Tip number two, try not to purchase small leather goods or accessories unless you specifically have a need for that item. If you're looking to maximize your money, it makes more sense when you look at the price increases to buy the more expensive items first, if and when you can afford those more expensive items. For example, you can't get a bag yet, but you could afford a $200 on a card holder or $300 on a key holder. But if you buy those small items, after a while, if you add up a card holder plus a key holder plus a scarf or a bandeau, instead of buying all these small items, you could have bought yourself your first bag. And when you look at the price increases, it's the bags and the more expensive items that have the larger increases. If you look at the prices from 2020 to 2022, this Neverfull has increased in price $700 in the past 2 years. In the past 2 years, this key holder has increased in price $60. So if you bought this key holder or say a card holder first, you would save $60 on that item versus buying it today. But if you spent your money on all these small items and you had to wait 2 years to save up for the Neverfull, you would be spending $700 more for this item today. So it makes sense when you look at the numbers with the price increases to buy things like the bags first. You'll pay less than if you wait 2 years later and buy all these small items in the meantime, because these small items tend to have very small price increases. I was really surprised when I did my last video of my entire LV collection. The bandeaus increased in price $10. It was such a nominal increase. So if you can, purchase the larger items first, and then when you're happy with the bags that you own, add on some accessories then, some sunglasses, some small leather goods, and that will help you maximize your money. Tip number 3 applies specifically to Louis Vuitton. If you are interested in any of their classic items in canvas, buy those first, then buy seasonal or leather pieces later on. Even though the classic items will always be there, they have the largest price increases. The pochette accessoire, as I mentioned in my last video, in the past year has doubled in price. The percentage of the price increases on these classic pieces, is particularly in canvas, are just through the roof. So try to buy those first because you will save a lot of money buying them now versus in 1 to 2 to 3 years from now. And I'm going to point you to another YouTuber. Kagan's channel is Haya Glamazon. I will link to her below. She did an amazing video this week that I will link to in the description box. And the title, I think, is something like Louis Vuitton dropped a major hint about the future of canvas or the future of leather. And I'm not going to repeat exactly what she says in this video. I'll link to it. Please go watch it next when you're done with this video. And basically, she says, through looking at their website, Louis Vuitton will be emphasizing leather in the future, and they are moving in the direction of de-emphasizing their canvas items and emphasizing and pushing their clients more towards leather. She breaks it down and gives a lot more detail in her video, but that is the 1-sentence summary. So if you are interested in canvas in the future, it will be a lot harder to get, as well as a lot more expensive. We're not quite at the point where Louis Vuitton is making their canvas items very hard to get. I'm recording this in May of 2022, and on the US Louis Vuitton website, you can actually find quite a few of their canvas items in stock on the website. Their classic items, I've seen the pochette accessoire available on their website, the Speedy, I've seen the Neverfull in canvas available on their website, which usually it never is. So if you have the option, if you are interested in any of the canvas items from their permanent line, it makes more sense if you're looking at maximizing your money, making your dollar go further. Get those items first. They're seeing the biggest price increases moving into the future. Tip number 4, and this applies to any designer that you're buying from, don't buy with the intention to resell when you're starting and building your collection. It's really hard to resell items and make a profit, so don't just buy things and think, oh, it's okay, I'll buy this, I'm not quite sure if I like it, but I'll just sell it and get my money back if it doesn't work out for me. But this was pointed out actually in the comments section on my last video by another fellow YouTuber, Danny O. And again, I'll link to Danny in the description box. But Danny made the good point that it is hard to make a profit when reselling your items. If you go through a consignment service, the consigner takes a portion of the sale. So you would need to resell an item for 20 to 30% more than what you paid in order to break even or make a profit. If you go the route of selling the item directly yourself, you get all of the profit because you're not using a consignment service. However, if you aren't knowledgeable about the practices of reselling, it can be really risky to sell a luxury item yourself. So if you are looking to maximize your dollar, going back to tip number 1, look at the bags you already have. Really evaluate what works best for you and your lifestyle and your preferences, and try to go for those items. Those are all of the tips I have. If you have any other tips that you would like to add to that list, please do comment below. I would love to hear your tips. I would love to hear what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, if you agree or disagree with any of the tips I've shared today. Thank you, as always, for joining me. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye now.